They were practically running back to the arena, although Aadil, Dante, and the princess were quite wounded. They were unable to run. Even Dante, the former slave and one of the strongest and most skilled warriors, couldn't move fast. Wait! Mairead stopped, leaned against a tree. She began panting. You two stay here and rest, Aadil said. No, I am coming too. I just need some time. Aislinn grabbed her elbow and said, Mairead, we had a deal. Wait, what? There's more. Dante turned towards them, exasperated. Well, just one last thing. She turned back to Aislinn, drew out a coin, and gave it to her. Aadil's eyes narrowed in curiosity, but Dante's eyes widened, surprised. How did you get that? Dante demanded. Why are you freaking out? What is this? Aadil demanded. It creates a portal that can take you anywhere in the realm, Mairead answered. I never heard anything like that. Aadil sounded ignorant. They were meant to be secret, Aadil. Only Ronan had them. That's what I knew. Crane happened to have two. Mairead smiled. It's surprising that you know about them. Well, our secret kingdom is filled with knowledge. So, this is where our deal ends. Aislinn looked down at the coin. Yes, the princess smiled. Thanks, Mairead. You take care of yourself. Wait. Dante stopped her. Before you leave, I need to know what happened back there. Yes, that is right. I want that as well. We talked about killing Crane. But I have no idea what happened at the lake. You didn't tell me anything about it. I didn't tell you because I wasn't confident that I could do it, said Aislinn. I don't understand. Ronan and I are the last of our kind. We are called the Sylvian Beasts. To activate our dark side, we are supposed to take a life. I didn't know that I could do it. But the moment I slit Crane's throat, I felt different. One of the perks of being the Sylvian Beast is that I get to control this form easily. Without training or anything. I mean, how can you handle such a powerful form so easily? We were created by the Sylvians to fight a war. We were magically trained. When a Sylvian Beast reaches the age of 12, they dream of activating their dark side and learn about themselves in the nightmares that they see every night. We don't need a mentor. The dark magic has confirmed that. It somewhat sounds like learning a skill while you are growing inside your mother's body, Aadil said. You can say that. Aislinn turned to Aadil. So, Ronan is a Sylvian beast, said Dante. That explains his connection to the Sylvians. One of the reasons Ronan was undefeated was his secret connections with the Sylvians, the most powerful creatures of the realm. They could wipe out the entire land in hours. Ronan was the ruler of the north, but he also owned territories in the west and east. All this happened because of the armies given to him by the Sylvians. You said that they made you to fight a war. Aadil was curious, what kind of war? It is said that the war took place millions of years ago. I don't know much, but I heard something like Sylvians went against something that was way too powerful. Far more powerful than the Sylvians. They used to rule the skies and lands before the Sylvians did. Skies? Aadil blinked. That one plural form was something that intrigued him. This world is beyond your imagination, Aadil. Before you go, please tell us everything that you know about the Sylvians, Sylvian Beasts, and the war. Dante required. I don't know much. But I will tell you everything that I know. They all forget about the arena, as the screams and the cry of battle have stopped. Millions of years ago, there lived an invincible clan who claimed to be gods. They ruled the lands, oceans, skies, and the underworlds. They thrived for thousands of years, but greed for absolute power began to corrupt their hearts. They had everything, but still, it wasn't enough. King Hip, their empire, nothing was satisfying anymore. They wanted to rule, as the only almighty ruler of all. They began to question each other. One desired the sun to rise in the west, another preferred the sunlight to come from the north, some wanted a golden moon, and some craved something else. They fought, but their devastating powers started to destroy everything. They reached a conclusion and divided the Dazak into multiple territories, each of them ruling their territories as its god. But this didn't last for long. The first generation died and then their children took over. They weren't satisfied with the lands that they had. Brother went against brother for the godship of the kingdom. Some ended up dividing their lands further, some ended up killing their siblings, and some were not just happy with everything they had and continued fighting. Eventually, this greed and arrogance of superiority led them all to fight each other again. In the end, 5 brothers joined forces when they realized that they weren't gods and their powers had limits, and this desire to become the one and only God of all has destroyed everything. They defeated their fathers and put an end to this obsession with godship, as they believed it to be a lie and reason for all the chaos. They were the only generation that never harmed innocents. Hurting women and children, and raping were unforgivable crimes in their reign. But one crime was addressed as most devastating and non-negotiable: the desire to become a god. They believed that playing gods took everything from them. So, they destroyed all the temples of their families and ancestors. They allowed others to practice whatever religion they desired. They encouraged people to follow the religion that they thought was right instead of forcing people into worshipping them like their ancestors. But even their reign didn't last. To fight their families, they built an army known as the Sylvians. After centuries the greed had returned, but this time, it was the Sylvians. They used the same magic that was used to create them, and created the Sylvian Beasts. But they were clever. They only made the beasts powerful enough to fight, but not strong enough to stand against them. They were more like the elephants, hounds, and horses of battle. As a result, they did defeat their enemies, but thousands of beasts died in that 5-century war. What happened after that? Asked Dante as she finished. That's all I know. I have no idea how the number of the beasts came down to the 2 of us. I have no idea what happened after the victory. I don't even know the name of that clan which ruled before the Sylvians. That's a lot to take in, said Aadil. Mairead's eyes were wide open, still digesting the story. I have to go now. Where are you going? Dante asked. Somewhere my brother can't reach. Somewhere he wouldn't dare. Aislinn tossed the coin in the air. As it hit the ground, a sparkling white round portal appeared. What is this? Goodbye and thank you. All of you. Aislinn walked into the portal and both she and the portal vanished. Where did she go? Where is that coin? Aadil searched the ground where he saw it fall. The coin went with her. That's how it works. Where is she now? I don't know. Mairead shook her head. I don't think we had a single chance against Crane's army. Dante turned to Samina. How did you do it? I noticed most of the people were still humans, wanting to be free, and there was nothing in this world they weren't ready to face. Raping, butchering children, and making innocents watch their loved ones getting raped or chopped into pieces were common things that they experienced every day. I just gave them what they needed. Leadership. I poisoned most of the slaves and knights who could stand against us, and the rest was taken care of by your army, added Aadil. They both glanced at each other and smiled. What is taking you guys so long? A male voice came to their ears. All of them turned and saw knights standing with spears and arrows pointing at them. Ronan awaits you, said a knight. They were brought to the squandered arena. Ronan's knights were standing over corpses from both sides. One 9-foot-tall giant man stood behind him. His face looked like a demon, with blood-red eyes and scars filling the face, and long hair reaching to shoulders. The prisoners fought valiantly. Most of them had lost their lives, but it was inevitable. "What is this, Dante?" Ronan said from the viewing gallery, its floor still stained with the blood of Crane's advisors. "The remaining slaves are less than 100. This is hardly enough for an army." He gestured to the few meandering prisoners left in the arena. "Sorry, Ronan, but the slaves you are looking for are off the realm. And these," he gestured to the people around, "are the ones who killed them. So, they don't fit in your collection of mindless creatures. I wanted this land so badly. I was waiting for Crane to die, but there is nothing much left. I cannot train these insects. That was Crane's job. No perfect slaves, no masters, hardly anything left to occupy. How did you get here? The barrier prevents anyone from entering the city. No one can get in or get out." "You're missing something," Ronan smirked. "No one," he rose from Crane's old seat and began to walk downstairs, "can get in or get out lacking Crane's permission. Crane was the anchor." Dante finally understood. "He was the only thing stopping me from getting what I wanted, but..." He exhaled in frustration. "Thanks to you three, all of this is completely worthless." "Happy to hear it," Aadil said, drawing Ronan's attention to him. "You," Ronan exhaled sharply, "are that thief who looked into my eyes and lived. Your allies played a dirty game, and I lost my sister, but yes, I did return the favor." He took out his knife. "This is the blade that I used to kill your little friend." Aadil's eyes were fixed on the knife that took Henry's life. "You like it?" "It's my favorite dagger," Ronan chuckled. "I aim to stab it through your heart one day," Aadil responded. "That day will never come." Ronan gritted his teeth. "I wish that you were on my side, Aadil. I would have loved to have a knight like you. Your eyes remind me of a Pathan woman who once killed a commander of mine." The moment Ronan mentioned some Pathan woman, something triggered in Aadil's memory. He blinked, and a glimpse of a woman whose face he couldn't see floated before his eyes. A child playing with that woman. It was all a shadowy view. "So much rage in your eyes, a fire that could easily burn the entire world." Ronan's words pulled Aadil out of his memory. He blinked and shivered a little. The Emperor shifted his gaze to Dante. "I had the same feeling with you, but you betrayed me, Dante. For a girl. She gifted me with such agony that turned me into a human," he replied proudly. "I just don't understand. What can a woman offer you to make you betray me? I guess you will never understand." Ronan exhaled in frustration. "Where is my sister?" "Somewhere, you can't reach her," Mairead said. Ronan glared at her. "What do you mean?" "She used something called a Sylvian coin," replied Mairead. "You stole that from Crane and gave it to her." She inclined her head. "Where is she now?" No one responded. "Tell me." Ronan screamed, gripping the knife in his hand. "She said she was gonna leave the Dazark. That's all I know." "What?" Dante and Ronan yelled together, their voices echoing throughout the arena. "That's impossible." Dante protested. "What? Why? There are other realms if I am not wrong." "Yes, but still, it's not possible." "Why?" she demanded. "Because Ronan pointed his knife at Dante, "destroyed all the doors that connected our realm to others." "But she said that." "No." Ronan backed away from them. "Where did the coin take her?" "I mean, if you say there is no way it can get her out of this realm. Where did she go?" "I don't know." Dante shook his head, eyes filled with questions, "but something tells me he does." He looked at Ronan, raising his chin. "You three," he gestured at them with the blade, "will take all this to your graves." He waved a hand, and the knights drew out their swords.